Hey, good morning, everybody. Wow, with MyPearson. Woo! How's everyone doing? We're going to figure out what to do about MyPearson right here, right now, live, and then send out an announcement. But I think it might have caused some confusion because I think people might thought all assignments were pushed back. So let's get working. Let's get fixing on the course. Let's get working. Let's get fixing. Okay, we now have access to the course again. We now have access. It's giving you an error? What error is it, KP? What error is it giving? Matt, good to see you here. Statue wanted quite the wild ride. Olivia, good to see you here. Nolan, good to see you here. We're going to be working on fixing up that MyPearson and probably pushing back other assignments too. Well, not probably. We are going to do it. Because I think I added some confusion. In all the confusion. Change dates and assignment status. Send me a Discord. Let's take a look. Awesome. Who's been finding out stuff? Undefined column selected. Send me your full file. Send me the full file again, KP, and I'll take a look. Who's been checking out the Discord? Discord found out really quick this morning that my lab's back up. I want to send out a full announcement. Hannah, good to see you here. We're going to get things working here. We all going to get things walking. So we have Saturday the 16th. Okay. Oh gosh. They really made it hard for us. Stat 201, MyPearson, and assignment Hangzhou's. Let's go check this out. Let's go over to the mid screen. Main screen. Okay. So we need to make changes. I'm still going to have the test open on the 20th, but we're going to allow people to complete work till the Saturday, or the Friday, excuse me, because we lost 2 days right here. So we lost 2 days. And if you have those questions, thank you, KP. If you have those questions, drop them in the chat. We lost 2 days right here. That means everything needs to be pushed back 2 days. Here we are, and then we're going to figure out how to handle the rest of this. Okay, there we go. I might need to just push everything back 2 days. I'll fix the rest of this later today, probably. And it was the 16th where the issue occurred. So here we are on the 16th, which is chapter 5. Of course, it happened right with chapter 5. So now chapter 5 is due tonight. Okay. That's part one right there. And then this is going to be the 19th. Basically lost 2 days. And then something seems. Oh, that should be the 21st. Wait. That's the 20th still. Oh my gosh. What are people thinking? Will the assignments not? That's what I'm gonna do, Nolan. I'm gonna push those back too, because I think some people thought they were, some people thought they weren't. So we need to go fix that next. We got a lot of fixing to do. So we're getting. You're welcome, Nolan. Thank you. Thank you for the email too. We'll evaluate what to do with test 2 and going forward. Okay. Okay, so that's updated right there. Now I think I need to go and do the Canvas stuff. One moment. How's everyone doing in the chat? Let's throw out 100 MU-Bucks right here. How's everyone doing? Brian's doing the Canvas stuff. How are you doing in the chat? Let's see. Gotta get him stuff done. Because I didn't know when MyPearson was ever coming back. Great, Michelle. Oh, thank you, Michelle. More points in the chat. I was like, is MyPearson ever coming back? Is MyPearson ever coming back? We're ever gonna have MyPearson again? It would have been funny if. Hey, Rose Mountain, good to see you here. Thriving. That's awesome. Like, what if MyPearson was just down for like a month? I'd be like, I don't know. We got to talk to them or something. We gotta talk to them about this and say, hi, MyPearson. That was very disruptive. I'm sure they know it. But that was not good. That was not good for learning for students. That did not help. Only... Okay. I'm changing a bunch of dates right now. Like, if you want to know what I'm doing, I know Pearson doesn't show stuff, so I'm having to edit tons of assignments right here as we speak. So an important thing to know is, did you know that you can complete the lectures after they're due? Now, there is a final due date when they close for the test material, but you can complete the lectures that you do via the modules on Canvas after they're due. Who knew that in the chat, that you can complete them after they're due? Did anyone know that? Did anyone know that you can complete the lectures after they're due? Now, you can't complete them after the test, but you can complete them. I did. Nolan, 100 points right there. Great job knowing that, Nolan. Because that's what I'm adjusting, is I'm just adjusting the due date. So yeah, make sure to do them, because if you don't, dun dun dun, you can't do them after the test. So after the test they close, so you have to do them before the test. But so you don't lose points. So I don't try to advertise that, because I don't want people to wait till like the day of the test and be like, I have to do every module now. I'm gonna do every module. It's the day of the test. And I don't want them to do that. Does that make sense? Like, that would be a recipe for disaster. If someone thought, okay, it's day of test, I'm gonna do every module. I'm gonna learn it all on the day of the test. That'd be very bad. For the note cards, can we make them on Quizlet? If you do, make sure it's your own Quizlet. Take screenshots. Quizlet's excellent. Like, Quizlet's great. Make sure it's your own Quizlet, so don't like send, that way people don't like. Does that make sense, Isabel? Like, I wouldn't want people to be like, I went to my friend's Quizlet who took the note cards, so I did them. If you do your own Quizlet, I think that's awesome, and I can accept that. So just make sure you do a Quizlet, which it sounds like you are doing, so do that. Yeah, the whole point is just to learn, to practice, and if that helps you learn and practice, I think that's great. So because Quizlet, my wife, it's so interesting. I still being married now for almost, our 3-month anniversary is coming up here in 5 days. 5 days till 3-month anniversary. It's still just interesting for me to say wife. Like, I'm not used to it. I'm literally editing assignments as I do this right now. I'm just like, copy date, change date. Thank you so much, Sam. I appreciate that. 100 points, Sam, right there. We're starting off this morning strong here with all these points. Okay, so you should see the modules are updated now. Thank you, William, right there. So, yay! Should tell her, go Miss Brian. I miss Chelsea. She's the doctor. She's got all the knowledge. She explains the things to me. I think 1 or 2 more songs we should be done. If you got questions, put them in the chat. Thank you, Matt, right there. Appreciate that. Okay, we got the modules moved. We got the Pearson quizzes and homeworks moved. Visualization. I guess we'll just move this till 2 days. We're just doing a 2-day shift. It's the best we can do. So here we go. Oh, it doesn't close. Oh, because you can turn it in late. Okay, that's good. My brain don't work sometimes. Okay, and then project 1. We're gonna move project 1. The only thing not moved is I'm not gonna move project. Let's just put Saturday. I really, this is what's such. I took so much time because there's so much work for 201. There's so much work. There's so much, like, which is good. It keeps you on track. It keeps you learning. It keeps you engaged. Doesn't appear chapter 5 homework has been moved. Part 2, it should be open right now. The homework always stays open. Here, we'll check in a moment. Did I not click save on all that? Oh. Okay. Check it out now. Cooper, wait, never mind. Cooper, you're messing with me. They probably are due tonight. Like, everything's been moved, but that means it's like you're waking up and it's Saturday morning right now. So everything got moved 2 days. Does that make sense, Nolan? I'm removing the rest of it as we speak, and getting the rest of it going right here. Does that make sense? I'm gonna send an announcement Sorry, this, like, if you're wondering if you're in 474, 475, this just happened. Like, we just got access to MyPearson again. Like, literally 10, 15 minutes ago. Hannah, good to see you here. We just got access. To our work. Then we have Canvas contents, and then I'm gonna have to figure out the rest of this. I spent like hours, like 3 hours maybe. I'm going to a wedding this weekend. Can you post all these assignments through Monday? Well, we do them as I probably won't be able to, William, because it's based on what we do. So I'll try my best, William, but it'll be like usually I release it on that day because it's kind of like what we get through. So it's we'll be releasing them as we get to them. Does that make sense? So they kind of get released as we do them because it depends on what we do in class, and then what we do in class figures out what we do. And I can get into my percent. Yeah, Sam, awesome. Let's see right here. This is Canvas Content Quiz 4. Good. And I think we are good. Awesome. Thank you, William. Not trash, right? Not trash. I hope not trash. I hope not. Okay, I think... Does for 201, are you looking at everything right now, and does everything look to be moved? We're going to... Oh, we also need to move the test. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the test open until Friday, because maybe some people planned to take it. We're also going to increase the drops right here while we're doing this, because I said there would be increases on drops. I hope this kind of... I don't know. I hope it's... What are people's thoughts on this? 201, talk to me right now. You know, I might go to the main screen for this. Let me go to the main screen. What are your thoughts, 201, on this? Give me your thoughts. What are people thinking? We're going to increase... We're going to add in a homework drop. So we're adding in a homework drop right now. We are fixing the 2-1 situation live. You can see the changes. Awesome. And then we are going to the homeworks. There is no rule for it. Morning, Nolan. Good to see you here. We're going to drop the lowest homework score. So I said I'd add in a homework drop. We're adding in a quiz drop. And there's 3 quizzes being dropped from the section. What's the best way to study for the test? Canvas content. Canvas content. Canvas content. Basically, and here's the thing is, if you memorize every Canvas content question, that's not a bad thing. But if you're able to ace the Canvas content, that doesn't mean you'll ace the test. You want to basically be able to see a Canvas content question you've never seen and be able to do well at it. Does that make sense? I'm going to try and catch up with everything. Awesome. Thank you so much, Michelle. That's what I want. It's, you know, we all kind of got hit by this. What's the structure of the test? Who knows the structure of the test? Really good question right there, Nolan. Let's throw some points. What is the structure of the test? Really good question. Exam 1 is 1 to 8. Correct. It's a good bit of material. Very important part of the class, kind of the basics of doing some data analytics and analysis. What is, I'll answer the question here in a second, but there is multiple choice. Hey, Lindsay, great to see you here. We're getting everything fixed up for 201. Anything else on the structure of the test? I need to fix up another thing that there was things I wasn't able to do all weekend. I wasn't able to do this. There's someone I have to help out. Let me find it. We're gonna do more questions. Is this? Okay. What is the structure of the test? Is it looks a lot like Canvas content. The structure of the test is it looks a lot like Canvas content because they're pulled from the Canvas content. So practicing the Canvas content is probably one of the best ways to excel in the class. Okay, I need to email them. Someone can do. Are you? Okay. Got that. And then we're going to send an announcement to the class right here. I think we got everything edited. Let me go away from this right here. Okay. So the test looks a lot like Canvas content. Let's hover the main screen. Let's write an announcement. And then what work do people want to do? Do people want to do Canvas content number 3? Should we do some Canvas content? I think someone else was wondering some 474, 475. What should we do after we write this announcement? So MyPearson working assignments shifted 2 days. So, hey everyone. Sorry for the issues with MyPearson. They didn't communicate. I mean, what can I say? I mean, my error, please. Yeah, KP, let's look at that next year. Thank you, KP. You got it. Your error next. We'll fix that up. Sorry for the issues with MyPearson. It is now working, and we have made the following changes. Numbers. One. Sure, that works. All assignments been pushed back 2 days. 2. We now have a homework drop. 3. The test is still open Tuesday, but stays open till Friday. 4. There are 3 quiz drops. I will be evaluating what to do with test 2, test and 3 material, and will update when I have come to a conclusion. Thank you for your hard work, and email, Discord, or Discord me with any questions. Who here has talked to me on Discord, and can you get a hold of me on Discord pretty quickly? Who here has talked to me on Discord, and can you get a hold of me pretty quickly on Discord? So I'm guessing some people have. There we go. All the assignments said, Cooper says, yep, you bet, because KP right now has their question very quickly. Exactly. And so great job. A lot of people, yep, and we were updating on Discord even quicker. The thing about, like, the reason why I might update on Discord even quicker is because, hey, Shreya, good to see you here. Is because imagine if I sent like an update every hour on Canvas, maybe not do that, right? But with Discord, I can like just continue the conversation about what's going on to be like, yeah, here's what we see, here's this, here's that. So I don't want to send you a every 3-hour update on Canvas, but on Discord we were kind of watching it, and then this morning we saw it, and multiple people in the chat were like, "Woo, it's working! We can do work now." So we've got this done right here. And check out this part of the video, and I think that's got it. Let's go fix your problem, KP. I'm going to fix this over here. Back over to the main screen. It's time for more questions. Drop those questions in the chat. More questions. We're going to use KP's file right here. We're going to see what's going on, and I'll send you back the code, KP working. But drop those questions you have in the chat. Okay, let's see what's going on. Object pets. You have right here, there's a code. I'm going to send this. There's a change at the start that needs to be made because you're using year, month, hour, day, all that good stuff with pets, and it should be shelter. Okay, here it is. Undefined columns. Oh, I don't think he made the data frame. Wait, no, let me see. The data frame is made. Oh, the data frame didn't get made. Oh, yes. You didn't store the month variable. And so we need to store the month variable. KP will know what I'm talking about. I'll send you the code here, KP. So the month variable wasn't created right here. And it says undefined still. If you have a question, drop in the chat. The reason I'm not showing this is because this is work for an assignment that an individual student is doing, so I don't want to send this out. And so KP, let me know. I think I see the issue. Here it is. 2 seconds. Okay, I got it. Let me send you this code here, KP. Remove this. So the issue was the month variable was not created. And I'm going to send you just the code that gets this going. So Here you are, KP. I'm dropping it in the chat to you. So the first code creates the month variable as a vector in the data frame. The second code stores it as a new data frame from the table. And then the graphic is created. KP, let me know if you have questions right there. But that's the code right there. What questions are there? You show me, and Ken, you also show me that we did at the end when you make a subset of adoption, create the ggplot. Yeah, let's talk about subsetting here. I can show that to everybody. Ron, good to see you here. Yeah, Hannah, you're now a mod. Good to see you here, Hannah. Let's go over here to the main screen and talk a little bit about using Dplyr and subsetting with the shelter data. Let's go check it out. Thank you, everybody. We got everything caught up right now. Sent an announcement to Tool 1. Lots of stuff done right there. So let's talk BAS 474/475 subsetting data with Dplyr. Now, Dplyr is a data manipulation package, which is super powerful. So watch this right here. You ready? Got all these data sets open from work. Just so much data set going on right there. Let's close these out and let's open up the iris data set. Now, why... Who knows why I can use the iris dataset? If you have a question, tool 1, 474, 475, put it in the chat. But who knows why I can use the iris dataset? I'll give you a hint. Why can I use? Well, that really doesn't answer the question. But why can you and I both use the iris dataset? There's datasets like empty cars, which you can use right here, or I think sunspots. Why can we use these datasets? They're open for everyone. Great answer, KP. They're in what is called base R. So if you've installed R, they're pre-installed. KP, perfect answer, 100 points. So these are data sets that actually are here even if you don't see them, which is weird. You'd say like, well, it's like Minesweeper, if you remember that on your PC. It's installed and you don't even have to ask to install it. So we're going to take this iris data set. I like to do this a lot of times just to see it. So I wrote iris into iris. Please tell me if any of the code I write here doesn't make sense. This says store the object iris, which actually does exist, into iris. And that's why it appears up here. Now, who 201, 320, 474, 475 can tell me what this looks like right here? What does that look like right there? What does that look like? What does that look like? It looks like Excel. That's what we always say there. It just looks like Excel, right? So one of my favorite packages for working with data is Dplyr. So we're going to load library, and if you don't have this, you will use install.packages. Install.packages goes to the CRAN server. You have to put it in quotes, and now you will install the Dplyr package, which is basically, hey, Rod, good to see you here. Dplyr is basically a package that is for data manipulation. This installs it, this runs it. So now we're running Dplyr. You can also tell you're running it if you look in your global environment. You'll see Dplyr as an attached package. I've got a bunch of other packages running right here, like the baseball data, the dates data, or the dates package, publishing in R, a ggplots package, Plotly. Those are all the ones I have attached. You can also, you might not have known this, look at what's in the package by clicking it and actually seeing the functions. Yes, we love Plotly. So you can see all of these things inside the package. Especially like ggpub_r. You can see all the different functions like ggbarplot, ggdonut, donut chart. Oh, donut chart. I just thought donuts and I got excited. So all these different ggplots can be done right here. Ggsummary. Oh, I've never done a ggsummary. Ooh, cool. ggtrip chart, ggstrip chart. GG scatter hist. So there's a lot of cool things. Anyways, let's look at taking some subsets here. Okay, so we are going to do the following. Iris. And then we're going to do what's called a pipe. Now, what a pipe is it hands this off to the next thing. So what would the following do? Even see if you can do this in tool 1. You ready? What will the following code evaluate to? Lines 4 and 5. If I run this code right here, what will this following code evaluate to? Yep, we're talking about 474 a little bit right here. What will that code right there on line 5 and 6 evaluate to? So these are some things you can do with the data. And then ask questions if you have them. What does that code right there evaluate to? Sure, that's exactly it. Mean of the number. So it's going to pass this into the next thing right here. It's going to take this and pass it into here right here. It's just going to bring that over there. Does that make sense? So it's going to take the mean of it, just passes it through. So the answer is going to be 3. So it takes the mean of that data. So what is this going to do when I go right here? It's going to then what the what. So use the words right here. It's going to what the what. It's going to what the what. Just think about how it's passing it into the next thing. It says, oh, that's going to become the first argument of the next function. So this code right here will what the what. Try to complete that sentence. This code will blank the blank data set. So this code right now, we don't have any conditions for it, will blank the blank data set. What will this code right here do? It'll filter iris. Great job, Riley, right there. It'll filter the iris data set. So let's say species, you actually get the autocomplete. And then we say species, and we do, I think we do 1 equals. Maybe equals. Let's try it. Set a so. And it got mad. It is equals. I swear, every once in a blue moon, you don't use 2 equals, and then I do it or don't do it. I have a question on seeing the data for the pet adoption. It downloads the CSV from Canvas and is blank when I open it. How should I fix that? Have you? I think, did you message me about on Discord? About it not opening. You should be able to do the read.csv strings true. I'll show that here in a second. When you run this code, send me a message. Run that code right there. I dropped it in the chat, and tell me, does that load in the data for you? Does that load in the data? It's a little challenging. I like that right there, Cooper. And then drop those questions to one if you have it, because here's the thing right now. What we can do. Watch this. What if we want to, let's say, analyze this data, and we want to turn it into a graphic? How would we save this subset? So who knows? How do we save this subset? How do we save this subset right here? How would we save this subset of just these flowers? How would we save it? Yep, you got a KP right there. We're just going to take this, and we might go right here and just go like this and call it set flowers or something like that. There we go right there. Now we've got those flowers saved right there, and you see it become an object right here, and it's just a data frame with the widths of the flowers. What's really interesting with this is you can do things like set flowers, or let's take the set flowers here, and we could then do the following where we go mutate, which is a really cool thing. Let's say new variable, and the new variable is going to, it is equals at this point. It is equals. Let's say supple length, or go supple width plus supple length, and there's the new variable. And let's overwrite set flowers with this data set. And what you'll notice is we just created a new user-defined variable right here. So this is what I really like about this code right here, is it's just kind of like adding on to things. It's just saying, okay, store into set flowers with a new variable created, and that's what mutate does. So you've got things like mutate, summarize. There's so many different ways to do things. We could summarize this data via these functions. We can add new columns to it by these functions. We can filter by these functions. We can also select certain things. Like I could go here and say select, and with select, I could just choose. I'm pretty sure it's not in quote. I could just choose the species. Oh, species right here. There we go. And we do need to put it in quotes. Oh, I subset it. There we go. So you can see how this code kind of works. And we just get that, and then we could add to it another thing if we wanted, like supple length, and there we go right there. So this is just selecting certain columns. I still have an error. I Discord you. Yeah, send me a screenshot on Discord. We'll take a look at that next, Lindsay. More questions in the chat. Send me a message on Discord. But I think the question about like how do we subset, this right here should help out with this. But do remember, a big portion of this assignment is lubricate, doing things like that. Drop those questions if you have them. This is all about how to subset. 201-474, drop those questions. Let's go back to the main screen. Okay, who has questions? Lindsay, send me a message on Discord here. Did you DM me the message, Lindsay? Send me the message and I'll take a look. Is it... Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Cooper. Student is giving shout outs to Charlie on the Discord. Thank you to everyone who chats it up on the Discord. Okay, Lindsay's got... Here's a screenshot. Okay. It looks like the file is not in your working directory, Lindsay. So, it's saying it has magic number. Okay, let me try sending you the file. Let me send you... Oh my gosh, I got so many things downloaded. I was doing a bunch of grading yesterday. Okay, one moment here, Lindsay. I'm gonna send you the file. Something might have happened with your download, Lindsay. So here's the file being sent to you on Discord. And so that is, you can see a view of the file. It's 3 megabytes. So you should be able to download it, then take the file, put it in your working directory, and then try writing that code right there. Yeah, and so try this. Try grabbing that file, and if it doesn't work, we might need to meet, and see what's going on. But download that file right there that I just sent. It is the right file. It shows a preview of it, which we can see. And then with that file, try putting that in your working directory, and then it should load the data. Is it working? The one from Canvas doesn't have data? Let me check. Let me check. Go into the assignments right now. Does it have an issue? Sometimes Canvas can have an issue downloading, or... No, it looks... it says 2.6 megabytes. I think it was the way it was downloaded. I think there was an issue with the download. You might have to sometimes click through a few windows. But it looks to have downloaded. But sometimes Canvas can be weird the way it allocates files. Yeah, sometimes Mac, PC, or browser can cause issues. Just let me know as soon as it happens. Canvas Content Quiz 2, the question about the Marvel DC had asked which percent of tours were not from DC. Yeah, let's look at that next year, Michelle. You got it. Thank you so much. Remember, drop those questions anytime, because we're currently in open questions. I'm helping out everyone as working with the code here and everything. And so thank you to KP. Thank you to Lindsay. Great work. Let's go look at that Marvel DC question on Canvas Content number 2. Get that loaded up right here. Drop those questions if you have them. Getting so much work done. Good to see you, Knox. Canvas Content. Okay. We almost got it ready. And we found it. Okay. Let's go do the work. Is it giving another error? Outcome type not found. You might send me the code here, KP, and I'll take a look. Maybe it's a space. You still have the same error, Lindsay. We might need to take a look at it. We might need it maybe between office hours to take a look and see what's going on. Make sure the file is in the working directory. So double check everything. Then make sure your RMD is in the working directory, because I saw you're using an RMD. So make sure your RMD is in the working directory and your data files in the working directory, and everything should work. Canvas Content number 2, Marvel/DC Heroes. Let's go check it out. Here we go. Okay, we're going to be talking about some Marvel and DC superheroes. So we have a contingency table. What kind of data does a contingency table show? What kind of data does a contingency table show? Now, I can't stay on the screen while I ask this question, but when you think about mosaic plots and contingency tables, what kind of data does a contingency table show? What kind of data does a contingency table show? So the answer's on the screen here. Try to find contingency table. It's down here in the bottom corner. Awesome, KP. Thank you so much. What kind of data does a contingency table show? So if you have a contingency table, not a frequency table is one variable. Contingency table is going to show what kind of data. Categorical, great job. And bivariate categorical, meaning 2 categorical variables. And you see that right here where we have categorical X and categorical Y. So bivariate categorical. And a mosaic plot is kind of where we do the colors on it. We show different kind of bars. Kind of looks like a stacked bar plot. I think, do we have data open we could do with it? Not today. Well, let's look at this question right here. Now, when we take a look at this, it says we have a graph of superheroes right now, or a table of superheroes. We have Marvel heroes with agility as their superpower, accelerated healing, flight, and all these other things. Now, it asks, what percent of superheroes are not from DC? Does it get yes or no? Does this ask anything about the power they have? It'll be categorical, Michelle. It'll be two categorical variables like who was the publisher, categorical, and then what is the superpower? Yeah, great work, Michelle. So it's bivariate categorical. And so does this ask anything? It says, what percent of the superheroes were not from DC? Does that mention anything about superpowers? What percent of the superheroes were not from DC? Does that mention anything about their superpowers? Does that mention anything about their superpowers? Yes or no? So it says, what percent of the superheroes were not from DC? Does that mention anything about superpowers? No, it doesn't, right? So we want to look at a what display. What do we call this over here? So we want to look at a what display. I think it's in the margins. That's a hint. So we're just looking at the publisher right here. So we call that a what display on the table. Think of it, remember, it's in the margin. A marginal display, great job, Hannah, right there. We're going to look at a marginal display. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to say we don't want to look at the DC heroes. We only want to look at these right here. And then we want to know out of this right here. Now, that's a little hard to see. So what will the answer be? That's a yes. So what will the answer be? We want to know what percent are not from DC and do it in a percent. So what percent are not from DC? How would we do this? Oh, and I'm wearing a Marvel today. I'm wearing Captain America today. Steve Rogers. So what percent are not from DC? How would we do this? How would we do this? It might be. So, oh my gosh. Sorry, everybody. Crazy weekend. Crazy weekend. Crazy weekend. Let's see. I think that's right. And then we're going to times by 100. There we go. Add Marvel and the other, and then divide by the total. Great job, Isabel, right there. Exactly. What other questions are there? People are sending me Discord questions as we speak. Great job, Isabel. And then that's exactly what we would do right here is we'd add together the Marvel and the other, and then we divide by the total. And this is using a marginal display right here. But keep asking those questions. We're just going to keep going along, keep knocking out questions. Put them in the chat. I see I have a few more Discord messages. So what other things are there? This is what I have. Yeah, but wait, Lindsay, is it when you download, does the file download from Discord? So the one sent above. So the one I sent right there, it might add like a, yeah, it looks like there's an issue. It was blank, the one I sent right here. This, well, that's a picture of it. This one, the one I send should have it. Like if you go to the download on this, I'll send a picture of where. There's a download. Oh, that's black. You can't see that. There's a download button on Discord right here. Yeah. Oh, okay. No, the one on the one on Canvas is all right. I can show it. I think it's an issue with or you use what browser? Because I think Safari every once in a while. Could you walk through question 3 on the MyPearson chapter? Yeah, and the homework stays the same. We'll do that next. Should we complete this before taking? That's just a practice. Good question there, Matt. That's just a practice. Here, we'll show this right here. Let's go over and show this ultra data. So, thank you so much, everybody. Keep those questions coming in. So, right here, Lindsay, it should be working. I think issues can be with, I've seen it with which one? The Apple one. I just said a second ago, Safari. But if you click the shelter data right here, it doesn't really show a preview right now, but it says 2.6 megabytes right there. Let's download it. And then if you notice, I've downloaded it a few times right now, and then we open it, and it is opening right there. So that is, yeah, I think I've seen issues with Safari, the way it's like, sometimes you have to click through the file a little bit. You might have to click through. You might have to click this download link right there that downloaded it, or click through to here. If you right click, you might have to click save as. I've seen more issues with Safari downloading things from Canvas. I love the pet names. Oh, what were the pet names again? I didn't even see them right there, Michelle. That's interesting. You could actually look at the different pet names people give their pets and see the most common pet name. Oh, let's look at that. Because we have the shelter data. Let's go take a look at this. What is the most common pet name? Does anyone know? Okay, shelter. It's probably going to be blank because there's just a lot of people are going to do blank. Read.csv shelter .csv. There it is right there. Strings as character factors, true. And then let's take a look and find, oh, I didn't do a capital. Buddy, you think it's Buddy? More guesses in the chat. What's the most popular one? So what we want to do right here is we want to take, and I'm going to delete everything out. Here's the really fun thing about data analytics is we could ask the question, what is the most popular pet name? So there's 5,534 pet names. So what we want to do is this is what kind of data? Categorical. So the best way to handle this would be to make a frequency table. So we go here to shelter, and we go here to name. Now, these are all the different names, right? To make a table inside of R, you go to table, and now we have a table of all different names. Chipmunk, Chipper. There we go. I do not know all the names. And then let's go to sort and do decreasing equals true. And the most common names, let's only go to the top 10. The most common names are Max, Bella, Charlie, Daisy, Buddy, Lucy, Princess, Rocky, and Luna. Those are the most common names at the shelter for these animals right here, Max. And what's even cooler is we could ask this for cats or dogs. So let's think of this right here. We take this same code, and you see we have cats or dogs in here. So we go to shelter. Oh, this is a secret thing. And then we go to filter. And we go here to animal type, and we go here to equals cat. And these are only cats now. And then we store this as cats. And then we just take our data right here and we do this, and those are the most common names for cats. Now there are 4,104 cats that didn't have names. X, very popular name for cats if you didn't know that. But these are Oreo. I think I've heard of a cat named Oreo because it's a black and white cat. But think about this right here. Who notices the power of us to kind of quickly analyze variables and make changes to this? This is something I was working on with a few students, trying to show that we can just change a few things right here to like, what are we filtering on? Do we want to filter on dogs or cats? How did you do that weird symbol? That is Control-Shift-M, also known as percent greater than percent. And the quick key is Control-Shift-M. And this is in library Dplyr. Thank you for asking that. So that's in library Dplyr, and it's the pipe. Check out the earlier portion of the video where we check out how to do filtering right here at 22 minutes in on piping with Dplyr and the idea of filtering. So I kind of just used that right here to do a filter and create just a data set of cats. Any other questions right here? I think we have a Canvas content coming up. Little secret kind of working with this data right here. Let's head back to the main screen. Sam asked, could you walk through question 3 on MyPearson homework chapter 5? Let's go do it. Sam, how are you doing today? Sam, I know where you live. You live in Sam's Town. Great album by The Killers right there. I need to listen to, someone could say name a song or two off of it, and I'd say, I know Hot Fuss. I should be able to name some songs off of it. Probably not. Let's check it out. MyPearson's back. We're going to start up some assignments right here. Doing well. Awesome, Sam. I like your picture right there. Sometimes some students like have pictures, and it's pretty cool to see what people have. We're gonna do. I think you might have picked one of my top favorite questions for the semester, Sam. You said Canvas or MyPearson question 3. Is it homework chapter 5 homework 1 or chapter 5 homework 2? We'll go homework 1. Because this might be one of my top favorite questions, I'm hoping. And is it? Is it? I think it is. No, it's not. It's a Forrester question. Darn it. It's part 2. Oh, part 2. Part 2. Part 2, not part 1. There's 2 parts to this. I'm trying to. Yeah, I think it is in part 2. Homework. So homework always stays the same with MyPearson. The quizzes change. So if you ever ask about it is. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. This is my favorite question this semester. No joke. What are the required packages to install FPP3? It'll install FPP3. When you install FPP3, it loads like Dplyr, tidyverse, forecast. It loads everything contingent on it. So it loads all, when you do install on it, it loads everything for you. Good question right there, Nolan. Some more points in the chat. Let's go check out Brian's top favorite question this semester. No joke. Here we go. Stat 201. Let me take a note on this. Stat 201. Quiz. MyPearson chapter 5. Chapter 5. Part 2. Question 3. Here we go. And okay, let's check it out. So with this, we have the what curve right here. What is the name of this curve? What is the name of this curve? What do we call this curve? This is the what curve right now. So you have to see this curve. It goes by many names. I think I could call it 3 names. Can you call it one of the 3 names it goes by? What is one of the 3 names for this curve right here? Do you know any of its names? Has at least 3 names I can think of. Who has an idea? Have you done the... Yeah. It should be on there. Great job, Hannah. Let me know. It should be on there. Oh, wow. Hannah got 2 of the names. 100 points. The third... Oh, Michelle got the other one. Normal model, bell-shaped curve. It's also the Gaussian curve because it was invented by Gauss. Is it... I can't remember Gauss's first name, but it's called the Gaussian curve because Gauss created it a long time ago. He actually, no joke, the guy who created this curve, let me show you normal curve on money. They actually put it on the Deutschmark. So Gauss on Deutschmark. I'm not going to be able to find it now. Am I? Oh, found it. So here is Gauss on the Deutschmark. And what do you notice right here? There's the normal curve. So Gauss, I guess he was an inventor. I don't know too much about Gauss. But this is the guy who made it right here. And he's on the Deutschmark. And there's the curve with the function on it. How do you spell that name? Good question. It's G-U-A-S-S. It's 1991 Deutschmark. But yeah. And Gauss. Friedrich Gauss right there. That is his name right there. That's the guy. So anyways, that's the curve. And why is the curve important? Well, the curve is often used to describe what we call normal data. I know I like the fun facts of statistics that they actually put the curve on the money. I actually saw one of those. One of my teachers had it back when I was a kid. And so now we need to know what it's asking. Now, z-scores tell us how many what's something is above or below the mean. Think of 2 letters. If you have a z-score, it tells you how many what's something is above or below the mean. That's what a z-score communicates. So it communicates how many what's something. So it's saying a z greater than or equal to 1.15. So a z-score communicates to us how many watts. Standard deviation, Sam, 100 points right there. So let's draw something out right here. Now, this is the real good practice that we need. So we go right here and we draw a normal curve. Now, when you draw your normal curve, you want to put 3 standard deviations. Now, it's very important you know the following numbers. The numbers you need to know are 68, 95, and 99.5. 99.7 because 68 is the area within 1 standard deviation. 95 is the area within 2 standard deviations. And 99.7 is the area within 3 standard deviations. So, if I told you the test for tool 1 was normally distributed, that goes to the shape of it. So when we say normally distributed, that means it has the bell shape, curve shape. And then I were to tell you it has a mean of, let's say, 80 and a standard deviation of 5, you would know pretty much all the students scored between what and what. So you would know pretty much every student scored between a what and what on the test. So think about how this information works right here, and then we're going to solve your question, Sam. So you would know pretty much every student, I'm putting the z-scores down here, pretty much every student scored between a what and what on this test. Now, it might not be all, there might be some crazy outliers, but pretty much all students scored between a what and a what on this test. Pretty much all students, like pretty much all. Not like about all, but yeah, pretty much all students would have scored between a what and what on this test. Pretty much all students would have scored between a 1 what. Well, 75 and 85 would be good answers right there, Sam. That'd only be 68% of the students because we go down a standard deviation right here and we get to 75 and we go to 85. So that'd be only 68% of students. Like about 1 in 3 students, close to that, would have scored outside of this because that's only 68% if I could draw down. Only 68% of students would score between that right there. So there's a lot of students that would score outside that range. Think about pretty much all students. Pretty much all students. Pretty much all students. Well, if you want to get pretty much all students, great job right there. Nolan, 100 points, Nolan. So Nolan did what? Think about what Nolan did. Nolan went up and down what? Nolan went up and down what? So think about what Nolan did is we took this 5 right here and we went up 3 standard deviations and then we went down exactly. Nolan, great work. Going up and down 3 standard deviations on the curve to show pretty much everybody. Now there might be some outliers, but this says we expect 68% of students to make between a 75 and 85. We expect 95% of students to make between a 70 and 90. We expect 99.7% of students to make between a 65 and a 95. Now we have a really great site that's going to help us out with this. This site right here is the David M. Lane applet, and it basically does a lot of these calculations for us. But let's try one by ourselves for a moment right here. What percent of students, now be careful, this is a great test question. What percent of students would you expect to make above an 85? Really good question right here. What percent of students would you expect? And this is a very good test question. And the drawing really helps. Like without the drawing, you'd have to think, okay, what is an 85? So what percent of students do you expect? Great jobs. How'd you do that, Sam? So in Knox, how'd you do that? Because think about this. You're saying 16% is above 85 because between here and here is 68. So you have 68% in here. And then that would leave 32% outside total. And what do you notice about these green portions? These green portions of the curve are what right now? This is kind of a quick like test related question on this, how we would do this on the test. I always like to show it would be on the test. So those portions right there are symmetric, right? So that means if the total area here is 16, like the total of this is 32, can't speak today, then each of these would be worth 16%. Because when you go across this thing across here, you'd have to get 100%. I think people are seeing it. Great job. This is a good like mini test question. But when we are solving these on homework assignments, sometimes we want to figure out the exact answers. And to figure out the exact answers, we have to use things like the David M. Lane applet. So if we did have something like a test with a mean of 80 and a standard deviation of 5, we could figure out above an 85 right here. And if you notice, just yes or no, does that drawing look something like what I drew over here? Do these drawings, I'm going to erase that, but does that drawing on the left look something like what I drew over here? Like do those, I realize my thing's a little bigger over here, but does it look kind of similar with the numbers? Because people say, well, how do I do this on the test? And I say, you got to write it down. You got to practice by drawing it out right here. Great job, Matt, right here. So I should have made that tail a little bit smaller on the edge. But if you notice, my numbers here on the bottom, 85, 90, 95, same numbers. Tail looks about the same. Should have had a little more asymptotic right there. But if you notice, it is 15.87. So was our answer of 16%, was that really close to the actual answer of 15.87? So was our answer of 16 pretty close? What are your thoughts on that? Was that like, it's about the same. Like it's good enough for government work. I would say it's pretty good, right? And this is how we would use the empirical rule on the test, but we could also give you pictures on the test from the applet. So now let's go back to the standard normal curve, which has a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. Now watch as we do this right here. 2 seconds, I'm going to orient the screen, and I want to show you the trick to this. Now that you've sat through a little mini lecture, and I greatly appreciate that, here's the trick. Get ready. This problem is going to get a lot easier very quickly. Are you ready? For the first question, this question right here, do you see this right here? I need to put some Y's in the chat. If you see the first question, you see the first button. First question, first button. First question, first button. Does everyone see first question and first button? I don't want to see that thing down there. We got some yeses in the chat. All you have to do to get this right is go to first question, first button, and then hit enter. Now, it wants the area above 1 point. I'm not going to hit enter yet, but remember, first question, first button. It wants the area above 1.15, which is going to be right here. So it's going to look like this when I click the button. No, it's showing the answer down there. I didn't want to see the answer yet. But does that make sense? This is the area above 1.15. Thank you for all those yeses in the chat. Now, this area is going to be less than 16%, but more than 10%. And I know that because I know extra numbers. And sadly, I can see the answer. The answer looks to be 13.15%. If I could type, and we can go down here and see it. Oh, it's 12.15. Ooh. And so now we should get the answer correct. So take a guess of what we're going to click for the second question. Take a wild guess. Like Brian said, I'm going to make this question a lot easier, but we should know the theory behind it. What do you think we'll click for the second question to get it right? What do you think we'll click? You'll get to this question on the homework. You'll be like, yes, this is the easy one now. What do you think we'll click for the second question? And this is the David M. Lane applet. I'll drop the link again in the chat. So, well, Met, actually, that's what I'm going to do to estimate the answer. So Met, 100 points met, and we're going to click the below button. But Met, notice, I think Met saw that this is basically the complement or 100% minus. So it's going to be really close to that last answer. If you look at it visually, they would almost add up to 100%. Great job, Met, right there. That's for the 100 points. Because Met's like, well, wait a minute. If this is 12%, this might be something like 88%. So we can actually take a decent guess with our knowledge. I think we'll be kind of close. So notice how we have the first answer and the second answer. They put them nicely on top of each other, and they would add up to 100%. So if this is 12%, well, for over here, that'd be a little bit more. So I'm going to go 13.5. So I get two guesses. 86.54. Nope. 86.77. Nope. And all we do is go below right here in the actual answer. The actual answer to the question is 86.43. Matt, everybody, how close was my guess? My guess was 86.77. I think my first guess was even closer to that. My first guess was 86.54. That was my first guess, was 86.54. How close did we get with our guess? Very close. And that's what I like to see right here. Hopefully we did everything correctly. Let's check it out. We're off by just a few thousands or hundreds. I don't even know my decimals. Yeah, that's why I like Cooper's one. That's why this is my favorite question, because we don't really need the applet. We kind of do. This one's going to be a tough one, I think. Now, third question, what do you think we'll do to figure it out? This is why it's going to be a little bit easier, but we should draw it. We should know what it's showing to us. What do you think we'll do with this third question right here that says a z-score that is between negative 0.55 to positive 1.95? What do you think we'll do with this? It says a z-score that is between negative 0.55 to positive 1.95. What do you think we'll do on the applet over here? This is the third question, And it says a z-score that's between negative 0.55 to 1.95. What will we do? How will we solve this? How would we possibly solve it? It says use between, the third button, right? So we're going to click the third button right here. We're going to make it so it doesn't show the answer for the moment. There we go. Not showing the answer. It's going to be the between numbers right here. So we should see between those values. We're not going to look at the answer. We're going to see if we can guess it. And 1.95. And if you notice, we get the same graphic. You can see it over here. Imagine, oh my God, classic quotes. So now that we get this is a tough one. Okay, that, a 95% confidence interval, so that's 47.5%. And that's a little less than 50. This is a very hard one to guess. So that's 40%. So 87.54. 80, it's only a little bit less than 50. That was way too small. So 47. No, 25. Oh my gosh. Okay, that was a horrible guess. So it should be 23%. Okay. This is Brian trying to figure out a problem that is just, should use the applet at this point. 70.52. Okay, that should be a decent guess. It was 68. This was a very hard one to guess. At the center of the curve, it's hard to get the areas for it. 1.95 was an easier number for me to guess because I know values around there, but we got a decent guess. I'll take it. Not as great as our last few guesses. I have gotten all of these correct by guessing them, but that's a rarity. I can get some of them correct, but getting them all correct by guessing is really tough. This one says a z-score outside the absolute value of 0.6. So that's going to be the last one right here where we go negative and positive 0.6. And we are going to take our guess because it's a lot of fun just to play guessing games. So if you notice here, it's outside the absolute area. Fourth question, fourth button. Click right here. And that's going to be a little bit more than 50% because I know where the IQR is. So I know the IQR by memory, 0.673, a little bit more than 50%. So it has to be something like 56 point this. Check answer. We didn't get it right. Last guess of the day. Come on right here. We didn't get it right. And the actual answer is 54.85. So we got closer on that guess. We were just about half off. Does this make sense? Like, using my knowledge of how the curve works, I can make a decent estimate. So the great question is, how can we do this on the test? So what is your best way to know of how these look like on the test? On the test, you will either use the empirical rule or you will get pictures of the applet. Where can you look at questions that would be like how these would look like on the test? Because that's a great question, Cooper, 50 points right there. How could you know what those questions might look like on the test? How would we know? So here we'll go to the main screen. How do we know what those might look like on the test? It was like, Canvas content, Sam right there, another 50 points. Canvas content. So the Canvas content has questions about like medical stuff, and it shows you pictures of the applet so you don't actually load up the applet. So Canvas content is the #1 way to know what test questions will look like. For the last question, we should not use above. You should use the fourth button. Remember, first question, first button, second question, second, third question, third, fourth question, fourth. The fourth question is the outside area. So if you put in the negative and positive, does that make sense right there, Matt? Put in the negative and positive. So it said 0.6. You want to do negative 0.6 and positive 0.6, and it'll graph the outside. I think I still have it up. Make sure, watch this, magic. I'll show you magic out here. Boop. Oh, wait, where's my screen? What? I lost my computer screen back here. Oh my, whoa. There we go. I lost my TV screen. So the last question right here, with the area outside, if you notice right here, it has the outside. You just want to make sure you match it to the graphic. So you can see the graphic here showing the outside on the side, and then it should match. Once again, first question, first button. So you see right here, there's the graphic. Second question, second button, there's the graphic. Third question, third button, there's the graphic. Was it all the, wow, that's a 1/4 to the fourth power probability. Well, I guess the first one could have been anyone, 1/4 to the third power. But they all matched. Pretty interesting right there. But that's got it. What questions are there? Don't know why I turned off my screen. What questions are there? All B's, I know, right? The probability of all B's is 1/4 to the 4th power. So that's 16, 64, 256, 1 in 256. Of course, the first one could have been anything. We would have been like, wow, all C's. So that's why I said 1/4 to the 3rd power. So about a 1 in 64 probability that we'd get all the same one. So we'll be doing that for the probability chapter. So pretty unlikely to get all the same answers. 1 in 64 probability that a multiple choice question with 4 answers asked 4 different times would get the same answer by random chance. Getting a bunch of calls from a random number. Got 2 calls. Why are they calling me? Are you with me that your phone rings every day with a random number asking you about your auto insurance? Are you with me? Do you get those auto insurance calls? It's 2 calls from the same, and I don't know if they left a message. We'll have to see. They really want to talk to people about my auto insurance. They really do. Really, really do. What questions do you have? Michelle's with me right there. Getting those auto insurance calls. They want me to switch to Geico. What questions do you have? Drop those questions in the chat if you got them. That's what it is. My car is yeah, Sam, you know what I'm talking about. Give them. I don't get the memes. I'm too old. Brian's too old for memes. He doesn't get the memes. What questions do people have right now? Drop them in the chat. What questions are you working on? We'll drop some more points. I'm gonna get that second cup of coffee. That's what I'm gonna get here in a little bit. We got like 7-8 more minutes. Let me add in the time tracker for the class. Also, the car warranty calls. My car is from 2007. We are way past the warranty. Well, it's like a super extended warranty, like really extended, like beyond. It's extended beyond what anyone would rationally extend a warranty through. That's why they're calling you. They've been calling you forever. I blocked all unknown numbers as a lifesaver. my parents. Let's just say they answer all calls and they talk to everybody, and I'm just like, Mom, Dad, no, like, it's fine. And then they're like telling me you got to lock your credit and everything. You're like, oh, you got to lock your credit and all this stuff. I'm like, you got to not talk to random people on the phone. If you don't know them, then, and they want to talk to you about something, no. Be like, I'm sorry, but I don't know you or what you want, but I don't see a need to, like, it's interesting because we grew up back in the day, I agree with Michelle, just face palm right there. It's like a double face palm. Like, I grew up back in the day when you get a call during dinner and someone's like, hi, can I sell you something? And my parents would be like, what are you selling? And then they like pull out their credit card and they'd be like, okay, yeah. Like, it was kind of like that. See, my parents grew up back in the day when there was like party lines where like you shared a telephone line with the people in your apartment building. So you would get on, like, you'd pick up the phone and there'd be like someone on the line. They'd be like, hey, I'm using the line right now. So like there's like maybe 5 people who have a telephone number shared a party line. So they grew up in a very different time. It's not like phones were like new then. I think phones came out like when did Thomas Edison make the phone? Like 18 something. And so pretty interesting stuff, like 1870, 1880. But then phones, I think, weren't really being put into like, gosh, maybe 1910, maybe 1920. So my grandparents would have seen like the implementation of phones. And then my parents saw kind of more the usage. My mom told me about kids' lines listed in phone books and labeled. Oh, what? I don't even know what that is. Is it like a family gets a second line for their house? Because they would do that too. Like kids would get their own phone numbers. Like that was a big thing when I was a kid. Like I guess they would do that. I'd never seen that in a phone book. But like a family would, like you'd be like, hey, Mom, Dad, can I get my own phone number? My parents are like, no. Like, why you need your own phone number? My grandfather always answers those calls like he owns a restaurant if they have a reservation. That's awesome. Shout outs to Sam's grandfather right there, doing it the right way. Tell him to talk to my parents. They might be similar in age. Tell my dad to be like, Dave's Pizzeria. We got what you looking for. He's like a New Yorker. Hey, it's Dave's Pizzeria. What you need? You got anything We got your order. Worst New York accent ever. And I might have a little bit of a New York accent, and I can't even do my accent. I can't. That's how bad I am at accents. I can't even do my own accent. What questions are there as we finish up office hours here, just relaxing for a moment. But good work, everybody. I'm glad we're more back on track now. 474 got assignment coming up. 475 got an assignment coming up. What questions are there? Because Brian's going to probably grab some more coffee right here and just relax for a moment. We'll play one more song to finish off office hours. I love that my parents still have a house phone. Yeah, well, we have a house phone. We have a house phone too. It's pretty uncommon. And you know what's really bad? Is our house phone actually has a lot of problems, and our line goes down because they're not maintaining the lines these days. Like, they just don't protect the boxes and stuff like that, or whatever it is. So we've had a lot of issues of our house phone going down. And yeah, and I think it's actually become just like, it's really uncommon for people to have house phones. So they really don't keep up with the service. They don't make sure it works properly because fewer people are using it. So it's kind of a bummer. It's nice though. It's kind of nice having a house phone. Good to see you here, Nolan. Well, we have class coming up here in 18 minutes for 474. But how's 201? Are you feeling better? People feeling more on track after our crazy weekend? So 474, you got to see, especially at the start of this, 201, nothing was working. Well, Pearson wasn't working this weekend. Major problem, major disruption. But we're dealing with it. We're rolling with those punches. We're going to get it fixed up. So 474, I'll be seeing you here in a little bit. Let me know if you have questions. We have a lot to do. We're going to get it done. So with that, Brian's going to grab some more coffee. Brian's going to throw you 100 points. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I'll see everyone. I'm all out of questions for now. When I do have any assignments, I might have questions, but I will message on Discord. That is awesome. Huge shout outs to the Discord. Thank you, everyone, so much. Once again, really easy for me to just like it. One of the best things about Discord, too, is it keeps that conversation. Like when you message me on Discord, I can see everything we've been messaging. And then I'm like, oh, this is so-and-so. Like, I know, like, if you like have it like names and all those different things and everything, it's really easy. Hannah, great to see you. Sam, great to see you. And Matt, great to see you. And Arthur and Cooper, it's really great to just like see like our whole conversation. And that way it's better than just like an email. And then you don't gotta worry about titles, and you just be like, you don't gotta say, hey Brian, I'm in this and this class. You can just be like, hey, this stats one question this, and just take a screenshot and send it. Really easy. Until then, I'll see everyone later. Bye for now. Bye. Time for the next class.